Well, I wish you a happy and blessed feast day of St. John the Baptist. I will always remember that June 24th is the feast of St. John the Baptist. You all knew that June 24th is the feast of St. John the Baptist, right? I mean, you've got that in your head drilled. You know, there's something about learning these things about our faith. And I want to share with you how and why I will always remember June 24th as the feast of St. John the Baptist. I was a young seminarian. I was in Mexico trying to learn Espanol. And I was in this town in the state of Guanajuato. I went down there on my own. I was just trying to learn Spanish. I'm just living with some family down there. And I got to know all the neighbor kids. And it was a typical summer day. And I would walk into town every day and buy some fruit. Every couple of days I go buy some fruit. I loved guayabas. And I was walking back. It was probably about this time of day, maybe 9:30, 10 in the morning. I'm walking back from the center of town. Everybody walks down there. And I turn the corner and I come back onto our block where the house is. And I know everybody there now. So I have my bag of fruit. And I'm walking back. I get about 3 houses away from ours. And all of a sudden, out come all the neighbor kids with buckets of water. And they say, "I baptize you." I don't know what to do. I'm standing there holding my fruit, and I am absolutely soaking wet, head to toe. And I'm like, "I baptize you? What are they talking about?" Oh, well. I go inside, and I put dry clothes on. I'm going to come outside to try to figure out what are they doing. I come back outside. Again, I'm running out of clothes. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And these kids with these big grins say, "It's the feast of St. John the Baptist." Duh. And I'm like, "Oh." And so there's this barrio-wide water fight on the feast of St. John the Baptist. And the kids have their buckets of water, and they're baptizing everyone they can see, except for the older folks as they walk by. But if you have dry clothes on, do not walk down Calle Naranjo on the 24th of June. But it left an impression on me. These children are growing up in an environment where their faith is really incorporated into life. I think that is something that we can really learn from our Latino sisters and brothers in our parish. If you've lived in a Catholic country or been there, it's such a blessing because our church is a church of feast days and fast days, fiesta. That's what we do as Catholics. That's why we call them feast days. And in Catholic countries where they have that Catholic ethos, they really do that. And it's a wonderful way to catechize and to learn the faith. You kind of go from one feast day to the next. And it leaves a mark of how we can learn our faith. That same town in Mexico, I learned that the 13th of June is the feast of, exactly, my point, St. Anthony of Padua. But I was walking around the street corner on the 13th of June, and on the whole street was blocked off, and there was streamers coming across the street, and there was carnival rides. I said, "What's going on? It's the 13th of June. They go, "It's the feast of St. Anthony of Padua," and that's the church, St. Anthony of Padua. It's their feast day, so they're having the big celebration for the feast day. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course." We never did that growing up. We never celebrated our feast days. Do you know the feast day of St. Paul? That's my point. We have a lot to learn, don't we? You and I have grown up in a culture where Catholicism hasn't been allowed to have its feast day, so to speak. We used to have them, and they've been turned into secular celebrations. St. Paddy's Day. That's the feast of St. Patrick, the patron of Ireland. An incredible feast day that was celebrated. Now we drink green beer and pinch each other. But it's lost its faith meaning for us, hasn't it, here? St. Valentine's Day. Even Christmas, in many ways. I say all this because we have an opportunity to let a large part of our community teach us something. The Hispanic population in our parish, they love to party in holy ways. And their big feasts are oftentimes wrapped into our faith. And that's something I want to invite all of us to begin to start doing. Is, oh my gosh, how are we going to pass the faith on to the next generation? It's really easy to go to a party, isn't it? It's not easy to go to a Bible study and invite your friends, but it's easy to invite them to a fiesta. But when the fiesta is all about something in the faith, you begin to pass it on. Now, we've been at a disadvantage because we don't have a parish hall, but it's being built right now, in case you haven't noticed. So my goal is when we have Maris Hall is to start having some faith parties, if you don't mind. And I'm going to have our Hispanics help us because they know how to do it really well. And when we have these faith parties, I invite that we come and bring our children and bring our families and let these fiestas of faith help us and to form us. I will never forget the feast day of St. John the Baptist. That's a good thing to know, the feast day of St. John the Baptist and about him. But I learned it through a water fight that was citywide. That would be good for Nampa. But you know, why not, in some sense, to have these big fiestas, but to keep the faith in the center of them? So, we all do have faith history. We all come from lots of cultures where those faith celebrations were there. Maybe we all need to resurrect them a bit more. We all come from places where there was wonderful things of our faith history. Let's highlight that and bring them out. And then teach our children why we're doing these things. Maybe if you come from a Polish family, you know that you're going to eat fish on Christmas Eve. Right? No? Yeah, you will. It's the Feast of the Seven Fishes. There's all kinds of things. March 19th, the Feast of St. Joseph. January 25th, the conversion of St. Paul. December 12th, the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And on, these things that form our faith. So, happy feast day. I invite you to do something to celebrate our faith today. And once again, our Hispanics are making it very easy for us. You probably noticed the fiesta going on outside. Aren't they good? Now, yeah. Our Hispanics have been trying to have this fiesta for a long time. They started off for the Mother's Day fiesta, and we had more rain than you could possibly handle on Mother's Day. Oh, the park became open again on Father's Day. Certainly it won't rain on Father's Day, the 17th of June. There was more rain last Sunday than we've seen, haven't we? So these poor Hispanics, our brothers and sisters, they go and they get everything ready, and they take it all to the park and set it all up, and then they cancel it. They put it all away. They bring it all out again and get it all set up, and then it's canceled. I told them, I said, maybe we should rename the fiesta the Noah's Ark Fiesta. So they're out here again today. They have lots of food that they need to get rid of and use. But they're doing it to celebrate our faith. They want to celebrate our moms and our dads, and it's the Feast of St. John the Baptist. So they have food you can take home, or if you want to, they're going to be here all day. If you want to come back later, and because it's not lunchtime, come back later. They're going to have dancers and all kinds of things after the noon mass. It's going to be quite the day. So I just invite you to feast today, and if you don't know how to do that, come back and let the Latinos show us how to do that. But it is a feast day. So celebrate, eat, drink, and be merry. We're calling to mind John the Baptist, the one who prepared the way for the Lord. And I want to end with this. John the Baptist opened people's minds and hearts to be able to receive the Messiah and to come to faith in Christ. Every one of us probably have a John the Baptist in our life. Somebody who helped prepare the way for us. Someone who helped us come to know Jesus. Perhaps they prepared us. They opened our minds. They opened our hearts. They made it possible for us and helped us. I think of my grandparents. Man, they were amazing. And they really modeled the faith for me. So did my parents. There might be somebody who really came along in your life and was really instrumental in your own deepening conversion. Try to think of that person today. Offer a prayer for those people, and if they're still alive, thank them. Wish them a happy feast of St. John the Baptist, and thank them for carrying on that faith tradition of preparing the way of the Lord in someone's life.